Muchas gracias, señor presidente.
Thank you, President. Secretary General, my friends, I welcome this opportunity to speak to you all in the place which is most emblematic of this era. The Security Council is a mixture of hope and fear, something that led to taking measures based on the promise that we would be able to sleep quietly after the most abominable war, the promise contained in Article 26 of the Charter of the United Nations, which says that the Security Council would promote the establishment and maintenance of international peace and security with the least diversion for armaments of the world's human and economic resources. That promise has not yet been kept. While we sleep, death is awake. There are areas where more than 23,000 warheads are being stockpiled, as if it were 23,000 open eyes waiting for a slip. Those who are perfecting weapons of mass destruction, instead of destroying them every year, destine millions and billions of dollars to vertical proliferation. Fundamentalists, megalomaniacs, radicals, populists, who base their power on firepower. I am grateful to President Barack Obama for this opportunity to discuss the reduction of nuclear weapons in the world. A large number of Nobel Peace Prize winners have gone a step further. For years, we have been advocating the complete elimination of weapons of mass destruction because we believe that they run counter to the survival instinct of any species. But it doesn't seem reasonable to discuss disarmament at a time when even the existing arrangements are not being honored. So long as we have countries that refuse to ratify the NPT and the CTBT, while others conceal data, stockpile fissile material, and cheat international verification mechanisms, hiding behind sovereignty, so long as there are nuclear tests, so long as the Security Council remains silent while everybody knows. I am thinking, for instance, the clandestine network that was led by Abdul Qadir Khan from Pakistan with complete impunity in open mockery of Resolution 1540. It seems plausible to me to discuss a more safe world while there are other perennially dangerous weapons on item 2 of our agenda. This Council fails to comply with its mandate every single day that it glosses over the arms race. Hundreds of millions of dollars are spent daily on arms and soldiers. More than $42 billion are being spent on conventional weapons that are sold to developing countries, to weak democracies or non-existent democracies that cannot even meet the most basic needs of their own people. Even in Latin America, which has never been so democratic or peaceful, almost $60 million are going to be spent on weapons at a time when the average years of schooling is only 7 and there is such poverty for millions of inhabitants. That is why I ask you to consider the treaty on the transfer of weapons that my delegation has presented to this organization. If we're really worried about terrorist networks having access to nuclear weapons, it's also legitimate for us to worry about rifles, grenades, machine guns, which give power to these networks. Who said that killing thousands in one blow is worse than killing thousands one by one? 20 years ago, I visited the United Nations during my first term as president. At that time, we talked about a world without warheads, a world in which we would finally control the weapons that fueled these fratricidal wars. I'm coming back again as a Rip Van Winkle of the modern age to see that everything has changed except that. Peace is always just out of reach. Nuclear and conventional weapons remain despite all the promises made. It's up to us to make sure that 20 years hence we will not wake up to the same situation. I'm honored to see that the biggest nuclear weapons merchants in the world are here today. But I'm not talking to the weapons sellers today. I'm talking to the leaders of humanity, to those who have the responsibility of placing principle above utility.